The Epstein Client list is coming to light. A judge unsealed more than 900 pages of court documents last night in Virginia Giuffre case against Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, the judge plans to unseal more documents revealing more names in the coming weeks. This first batch has some bombshells on Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Michael Jackson, details on the tactics used to prey on underage girls, and a page on Donald Trump that exonerates him from involvement in the crimes against underage girls. In these documents, the rumors were confirmed that Doe 36 is indeed Bill Clinton, and he's mentioned dozens of times. In one of the court documents, the lawyer questions alleged Epstein victim Johanna Sjoberg, asking if Epstein had ever spoken to her about Bill Clinton. That's when Sjoberg dropped this bombshell, quote, "He said one time that Clinton likes them young, referring to girls," unquote. Yikes. Well, according to one document, Bill Clinton held a private party at Epstein Island. Democrat Senator George Mitchell and Democrat former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson were also named in the documents. On another page, the witness describes a day when she was with Prince Andrew, and he took a photo with his hand on her breast, she said. On another page of the unsealed documents, Johanna Sjoberg gives a deposition in which she is asked if she met anyone famous. She says she met Michael Jackson at Epstein's home in Palm Beach, Florida, but she says that she did not give him a massage. Now, the page also says that she met magician David Copperfield. On another page of the unsealed documents, the lawyer asks if the witness ever interacted with Donald Trump. It says, quote, "Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home?" She responds, "No, not that I can remember." On his island, they ask, "No, not that I can remember." In New Mexico, "No, not that I can remember." In New York, "No, not that I can remember." She's also asked if she ever massaged Donald Trump. She says no. Previous reports said that Trump was on Epstein's flight logs in 1997. Gateway Pundit previously covered Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, who said that Trump never partook in any sex and that he never even flirted with her. In one of the documents, the witness says Epstein bragged about taking a young girl's virginity. One of the unsealed documents also detailed how Epstein's pimp, Ghislaine Maxwell, used a kissing game to coax minor teens to pleasure Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell is a convicted sex offender now, currently serving a prison sentence for her role in helping traffic Epstein's sex slaves, which include minor teen girls. Joining us to discuss this is Republican strategist and author of The Clintons' War on Women, Roger Stone. Roger, it's so great to have you back on the show. Now, I want to ask you, you wrote your book back in 2015 exposing the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and the Clintons, including Bill's 26 visits to Epstein Island. How did you know about this relationship way back then?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. A lot of what we learned yesterday is new, but a lot of it is not new. So there was excellent reporting done by a reporter named Nick Bryant for Gawker, and I used that fundamental underlying research along with a lot of other public reporting in my book, The Clintons' War on Women. The longest chapter in the book is entitled Orgy Island, and it leads with a quote from Jeffrey Epstein. When asked what Bill Clinton was doing on the island, Epstein told the New York Post, "Well, Clinton owes me a favor." We don't know what that favor is, but here's what we do know. It was Jeffrey Epstein who put up the seed capital to found the Clinton Foundation, which later became the Clinton Global Initiative. He was also one of the original incorporators of that organization. The Clinton Foundation provided 100% of the funding for Terra Mar. That was a tax-free nonprofit run by Epstein's pimp, Ghislaine Maxwell, where the intern pool was essentially a grooming pool for Epstein's future victims. I reported accurately that Donald Trump and his wife at the time, Marla Maples, and their daughter Tiffany were on Epstein's plane one time, flying from New York to Palm Beach, and then from Palm Beach back to New York. It was at a time when Trump's own personal plane was out of service. That Trump knew Epstein is a matter of public record, but it's important to know that he publicly broke with Epstein prior to Epstein being charged in Florida with sex crimes, whereas the Clintons continued to party with, socialize, and grift off of Jeffrey Epstein after he had been charged and served minimal time for sex-related charges in Florida. The investigation into Epstein in Florida was a monumental cover-up. The Palm Beach County Police Chief gave the state's attorney enough evidence to charge Epstein with sex trafficking and rape of underage children. And instead, that charge was negotiated down to one count of solicitation, for which Epstein was sentenced to 15 months, which he served in the air-conditioned Palm Beach County Jail. And he only had to be incarcerated from 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. Otherwise, during the day, he was free to go. So this is a lot of this is not new. I'm very happy that this has come to the fore. Leftists are more upset about the fact that there's not new information about Donald Trump than they are about the shocking information that is in these new revelations about Bill and Hillary Clinton and a number of other high-profile Democrats.
Yeah, I was going to ask your take on what was revealed in those documents. Does nothing but exonerate him. I'm sure disappointing to many in the media.
Yeah, look, absolutely clear. Donald Trump heard that Jeffrey Epstein, who was never an actual member at Trump's private club in Mar-a-Lago, made an inappropriate approach to one of the young women who worked in the spa, and he barred him from the property in perpetuity. And he broke with Epstein and never had any further contact with him. So this idea that he ever visited the island is false. He was never in his Palm Beach, he's never in his New York home. He did visit his Palm Beach resident on one occasion. It's recorded in my book, The Clintons' War on Women. He was there for less than 15 minutes. When he drove up, he saw a bunch of young girls in the swimming pool, and he said to his security guard, his private protection, "What a nice guy Jeff Epstein is, letting the neighborhood kids use his pool." He was uncomfortable with the situation because the number of men outnumbered the number of young women overwhelmingly. He was there for less than 15 minutes. As Virginia Giuffre said in her sworn testimony, the one occasion she met Donald Trump, he acted as a perfect gentleman and did nothing inappropriate.
Wow. It's just, it's interesting that, Amy Robach from ABC has said that she was trying to cover this story. ABC shut it down years ago because they didn't want to hurt their ties to the royal family and the Clintons. I wonder how much more information could have come out years ago, but hasn't. Now, we are told that this judge is going to be unsealing these documents in the coming weeks, little by little. Is there any information that you're aware of, that information you have on Epstein that's not out yet that perhaps will come out in these documents?
I don't know if it'll come out in these documents, but it becomes absolutely clear that when the Palm Beach City Police did a 6-month undercover investigation of Epstein and compiled enough information to charge him with sex trafficking, that the state's attorney busted that charge down to simple solicitation. And when the police chief then, figuring that something was wrong, went to the U.S. attorney in Miami, a man named Acosta. Acosta, after consulting with the DOJ, rubber stamped the state charges and tried to seal the entire matter. Only because of a long legal fight by the Palm Beach Post do we know any of this. Now, here's the key thing. When Acosta was appointed Secretary of Labor in the Trump administration, no one told President Trump that Acosta was the prosecutor who had essentially covered up the Epstein matter. But more importantly, in his preparation for his Senate confirmation hearings, when he was asked, "What are you going to say if they ask you about your essentially non-prosecution of Epstein, he said, I'm going to tell the truth, that the DOJ told me